Okay, Franco, what advice can you give to pilots that are going to fly in different conditions, different flying zones?
Well, I think a pilot needs to know how to inflate the wing in different wind conditions. For example, right now we have strong wind condition, and it can be a little bit hard to inflate the wing and even take off because the wing is gonna push you back all the time. So I think it's very important to know that there are different techniques to inflate the wing. For example, inflating with just one A band, one of the A bands, using the Cobra technique, inflating just one of the tips, and some and knowing things like you need to walk slow because if you run, the wind is gonna push you backwards, stuff like that.
Okay, can you show us one of these techniques? For
Okay,
example,
sure.
one band.
Yeah, for example, one band.
What are you going to do? Use one band, for example.
Because the wind is very strong right now. If I take both A bands and I pull back, the wind is gonna drag me. So I want to avoid that. Imagine that I have less space. I need to inflate in just this square. So what I'm gonna do is taking just one of the A bands. I personally take the brakes like this, both in one hand, but it can be doing like regular brakes like this, putting the loop on your hand. But I prefer do it like this, right? So I'm gonna take one of the A bands and I'm gonna pull the A back as I pull my body back. This wing is a little bit also, even with that, try to drag me, but yeah, I think this is a lot better than if I take both A bands and I just pull the wing.
Okay, so in this technique, doesn't matter how many breaks you take, if you take one or two, because I noticed that even you release one break, the important
Yeah.
thing is that you use just one band.
Uh-huh.
It's like a semi-cobra technique.
Yeah,
more or less.
it's like a semi-cover technique.
Okay.
You can even take just one break, one A band. You can do it different ways.
Okay.
It's better if you play, if you can try to play with the wing.
Okay.
And know how to play the wing like that.
But something that we have to recommend is that you use this technique when you are in a flat area like here.
Yeah.
With
not
a lot
on
of
slow.
control, because if you do that in mountain and you release one brake, you even if it's strong, because you do it because you want to reduce drag. If you lose one brake, you can lose control and have an accident because of that.
Yeah.
So you only do this to like take one brake or release one brake only if you are taking off in dynamic in a flat area and you have a lot of space to abort.
That's true. If you have a lot of space, you can do it like that. If not, you have to do it like the way we teach with the brakes, with the loops of the brakes in the hand.
Okay.
And trying to take as much as control as you can on your wing.
And do you think it's possible to just inflate the glider with one band, taking properly the brakes? Can you try?
Yeah, I can try. I can try. Just I need a little bit of space. I'm gonna kill the wing. So yeah, I'm gonna try. So like normal brake. I know that the wing is coming from my left, so it's easy if I take my right A band and I walk back. I just have to wait for a takeoff. Okay. Ooh, well.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, it's possible. It's a little bit hard for me because I'm not used to use the
and
brakes
then you can reverse
like
immediately.
Yeah,
Without
and
changing the brake.
I can just turn.
Okay.
And just take off. Another thing that I was saying is walking slowly. When you have strong wind, if you try to run, the wing is gonna try to push you back. So it's better if you just walk slowly until you reach the takeoff side, and then you accelerate to take off.
You accelerate when you are like 1 meter from the edge, more or less 1 meter.
Yeah, 1 meter, meter and a half.
One common mistake of students is that they get too excited and they start to run as in the mountain, like 5-10 meters before, and they start to do pitching, jumping, and then in the edge the glider pass them and it can collapse. So your advice is go slowly because you are in dynamic wind, a flat area. As slow as you can, and then one meter before the edge.
Yeah.
Hands up, run,
up.
and brake a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, don't try to sit unless you are far from the hill or from the edge of the mountain.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What other technique to inflate the glider you can show us now, and in what conditions?
Well, in low wind, we have for a strong wind. For a strong wind, we use something that it's taking both A bands with one hand. I'm gonna do it like if I were a student, taking the brakes like this. If you take your A bands, one in each hand, you give too much power to the fabric, so the wing can push you back. If you take both in one hand, it's gonna be less force and it's gonna be equal the way that you inflate the wing. It's gonna inflate straight in front of your face, so it can be a little bit easy to control.
Okay.
Like this.
Nice. And then you can reverse.
And then I can turn and go to the takeoff zone.
Yeah.
But the wing is a little bit strong.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I think it's important, especially in low wind condition, is trying to recover your wing, like taking the A-bands, like I'm doing, taking the A-bands and controlling the brakes, trying to keep the wing up above your head. It's just to avoid that you have to start again and your wing gets tangled with their own lines. But yeah, I think that can work. That's another thing that can work, especially in low wind conditions.
Okay, perfect. How can you show, or what can you teach us about walking to the glider when the wind is strong? Because when students start the course, they usually inflate the glider or take off with very low wind, slow wind. So they have to go backwards to inflate the glider. But once they get more experience, they fly with more wind, but they continue doing the same technique, which is going backwards. And then we have to teach again to walk to the glider, not against it.
Yeah, that's a very common mistake. I think it's very important to know that if you inflate with that power, like if the wind were low, you're gonna be blown back. So it's better if you learn. I mean, you have to know, or you can imagine how strong it is the wind, and you need to try to calculate how much you have to walk to your wing.
Okay, can you show us?
Yeah, sure.
First, do it as making a mistake. Pulling the A-bands and going backwards, and we'll see what happens with the glider. Ya, dale. Exagerando.
Okay, so now I'm gonna inflate with both A-bands in one of my hands, the other holding one brake and the line of my right hand brake, and I'm gonna walk to the wing. So I'm gonna reduce the amount of force of the wing. I'm walking to the wing, and it's slowly going up. So I have no force that is pulling me up or backward.
Okay, and I think the trick is know how fast you walk to the wing. Because if you go too fast, the wing is not going to go up. And if you go too slowly or you don't walk to the wing will go up very fast, and it can lift you, or it can pass you and collapse.
Yeah, that's true. You have to walk. You have to find the speed.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.